We are now joined by Professor Ulrich Beck. He is Professor Emeritus for Sociology at the University of Munich and speaker at this year's St. Gallen Symposium. Professor Beck, thank you very much for granting us some of your time. Your session was entitled Living in and Coping with World Risk Society, in which you share your assessment on the risks of a globalized world that society faces. What are the major risks you have identified?
Well, the media talks about them every day. It's climate change, it's the financial crisis, it's the euro crisis. But you have to know, I wrote about those risks 25 years ago. My book was published in 1986. So then I talked already about those kind of risks which are now happening here. So it's maybe quite a different situation for me.
So what risks will we be talking about 25 years from now?
That's a good question. I have no idea. You know, I'm a sociologist. I'm looking at what's happening. But from a sociological point of view, it's interesting that we are actually not living, I would say, in a crisis in the normal sense as we use this term, but we are living in a situation where modernity has become so successful, has so many means, that actually the consequences which we anticipated, the possible catastrophes, undermine our institutions. And this is the situation right now. We are living in a world where we are confronted with those global risks, but we have no answers. We just still have the old answers of the beginning of the 20th century, and therefore we somehow even don't understand the situation we are living in.
Could you give us one example of how our society is transforming into a risk society?
Well, in many ways, you know, nowadays everybody talks about all kinds of risks. You cannot escape talking about risk. And those risks, even I think in the public now, if you look, for example, at the euro crisis, most people do have the feeling, or maybe even the experiences, nobody really knows what's going on. They're having all kind of models, they're having all kind of answers, but nobody really knows what's going on, even the experts, the politicians. And I would say this is systematically so, because we do not have the resources to look at those globalized, highly interconnected situations. We are still very much captured by our nation-state perspective in businesses, in society and politics, which doesn't fit to this globalized situation.
Professor Beck, thank you very much for your time and your statements, and enjoy your time here at the St. Gallen Symposium.
Thank you very much.